My name is Billy R. White, D4, the U.S. Navy, and I'm a Vietnam vet. And I was in the military started in 1965, September 1965, and I got out in August of 1969. There's one thing that I experienced there was, you had to deal with a lot of things such as, you got tigers was there, you got big snakes was there. They had a snake called the one-stepper. If he bites you, you take one step. That was always a joke, but that's how poison it was. And things like, you had to watch out for the animals, using lizards, big long lizards and things of this nature that you always had to come across, along while you work, You can imagine you're going in the jungle, in a foreign country someplace. You really don't know what to expect. And they got the advantage because they know all this stuff is there. And who knows, a lot of stuff could have been planted, to try to distract us, attack us, whatever. So, you look back on that stuff. These are the things we always look out for. On top of the enemy, your mind, you're always looking for those things, making sure that it wasn't around or you wasn't stepping on something that's going to take your life. So there's always kind of chances you're going to die more than one way, and you realize that, And so any young man, you go into that type of experience, and you come out of that, you feel it's a blessing. Because I think with all the gentlemen that I was over in Vietnam with, a lot of them didn't come back. Today I don't forget them. I think about them, and I go down to the Vietnam Memorial, quite often, just to show, number one, I said, think about myself, it could have been me. My name could have been up there, so I don't take it for granted. I went to high school in North Carolina. A lot of guys that went to high school, their names on the wall, and I remember them in high school, and of course they're gone and died at 18, 19, 20 years of age, and God spared me, and that's the blessing that I have. It's just something you never forget, So it really wasn't nothing I felt that was so funny. I took every moment as a service moment while I was there, and always on alert and always realizing, what is really going on. It wasn't a game or something like that, So it was, it was quite an experience, but it just made me a different person, and also mold and shape me into a better person, I think, having that experience where I'm in. Well, it was unbelievable, really, because you think about all the people that had gotten killed while you were there, and you're one of the fortunate ones. And here you are getting on a plane, time C-130, boarding back to go back. Of course, our home port was Japan, Yokosuka, Japan, and to be able to go back and see. When I did get back, I didn't want to go back anymore, and I talked to my chief, and somebody, when I first went in, I had the knowledge. I said, well, I want to go into something while I'm in the military, try to maybe take some from the Navy to help me when I get back in civilian life. And that's the reason why I said, well, I want to go into computers. I had no idea that they would have let me do this. And I talked to my chief and told him, I said, I want to go into computers. And he said, well, let me talk to, I never forget it, so let me talk to Chief Cooper, that ran the data processing section at that time. And he talked to him, came back the next day, he said, Chief Cooper told me to send you over. And I was in a shock, it was a great moment in my life, And working in that field when I was there, and as I got to learn how to operate the computers, all the mainframe system, I ended up being the one who paid all the Far East payroll, all Navy and all Marines. I was the one running the computers, paying every 2 weeks. I did the payroll, and that's something to think about. I remember one day after I finished the payroll, and then Chief Cooper walked up to me and he said, "You don't even realize what happened." I said, "What happened?" He said, "You don't even realize what just happened." Because we had finished, right? And I said, "What are you talking about?" He said, "You just paid the whole 7th Fleet. You paid the whole 7th Fleet. You did. I ran the whole operation, you know. He let me out there, trained me, and I finished it. They said, you paid the whole 7th Fleet. It was amazing experience. I said, you know, it's just unbelievable, you know. I mean, you can imagine how big the 7th Fleet was, all the ships and all the Marines. I mean, that was big. That was a big deal. I came home the first time after being there, you know, because first I was on a 2-year tour, but then I got extended tour. My chief, you know, put in for me to be extended. First time I came home was April 18th, 1968, right after Martin Luther King got killed. But I was getting ready to come home during the time got assassinated. And my chief told me, he said, no, he said, I don't want you to go home right now. Back here, they had a lot of disturbance, you know, they had curfew and stuff like that, you know. It's a way things settle down before you go. I was just taking it all in all. I hadn't been home in a few years. And so, anyway, I did that. And by the 18th of April, he told me it was okay. Because I remember Martin Luther King got killed on the 4th of April that year. And then I came home on the 18th on all in all. I remember coming to the nation capital, and they had, of course, guards all over the place, and had a curfew, and I stayed home 4 to 5 days on all in all, you know. And but I remember a lot of part of D.C., the nation capital, that been burnt down, different places, whatever, you know. Of course, now, I mean, you couldn't tell it. I mean, you go places now, the same places I remember then have changed drastically, you know. I mean, they look so wonderful, it's unbelievable, you know. I mean, I'm living witness of this. I came home, I saw this, and now I go to D.C. I mean, many different streets, 14th Street, U Street, 8th Street. It's just like a total different person, a person that never been here before. They would have no idea what the city used to look like back there then. But in my mind, I can still see it. I remember what it looked like when I came home and all, you know. And I remember boarding the plane back on the 3rd of June, going back to Japan, you know. And so, that's in 1968, and then of course in 1969 they flew me back from Japan. They flew me to Bethesda Naval Hospital because, you know, I had injury, and they were going to operate on my hand again, but that didn't take place, you know, because they said they couldn't do anything for it, but straighten it out. They couldn't make it any better, so I didn't go through the operation, you know. But it was quite an experience. Been in a lot of foreign countries, not only Vietnam, Japan, Hong Kong, the Philippines, and went to Okinawa, Thailand, Taiwan. So it was quite an experience. I'm from a very big family, and my family never asked me what my experience was, what some of the things I saw. I think at the time when they were telling a lot of families telling their loved one, oh, this guy been to Vietnam, you know, stay away from him, don't say nothing about the war. And though they never asked questions. Even as today, a lot of my family never asked nothing about my experience. And all the places I've been, all the things I went through, they just never asked a question. Because a lot of civilians seem to think, number one, that's going to affect you if they ask a question about your experience. And a lot of stuff you want to talk about, you want to tell them, want them to know. Some of the things you saw, some of your experience, you know. And right now, I'm in a group with guys, with Vietnam vets, and we talk about this stuff. It's just like another family. You have an opportunity to go and talk to them about what's going on. So you do have someone. The one thing the veteran administration offers, you have another family you can actually talk to when you need somebody to talk to about your experience and things that you've seen, things that you've done. Maybe some nights you have a nightmare, or some nights you may have experience you can't sleep. You have somebody you can go to. Whereas a lot of your family members, they never ask. Not saying they don't care, but they just never ask. And they have never asked, you know, all this time that I've been out of the military. You know, so I think that's the reason why. They're afraid that it's going to affect you if they ask a question about whatever, you know. And but you want to open up, want to talk to somebody, have somebody you can talk to. You know, it wasn't so bad where, you know, you don't want to talk about it. Life is life. Things happen, and it was yesterday, it's longer than the past, but that's the way life is. I've told stories here at the home before. One of the fact is I'm from a very big family, and it was 13 of us in my family, and out of 13, I was the only one with the military. Okay, the other thing is, my father also was 20 of them. I got over 160 nieces and nephews. Now, that's how big my family is. I had one uncle that died 2010. He had 37 kids. All right, so I'm from a very big family. And I think back when I was growing up, most of my brothers, my father's brothers and sisters, they had 9, 10, 11, 12 kids at least, minimum. I think everybody was trying to have, so that's the way we was growing up. Everybody was trying to see how many kids they could have in a family. And growing up in North Carolina, that's just where it was. Yeah, you know, so, but a very loving family. You know, so I thank you for this interview, and I hope and pray that I get a chance, and even after I'm gone, my loved one be able to go to the archive and see something about Billy White.